What's going on, my guy? What's going on? Good morning, Birdie. Oh, shit. Tired as hell. We up, though. That's all that matters. No cap. Alright, bet. I'm away from Martin. We lit. Damn. If you, the US 30 has been so trash. If you really just look at the chart, bro, it hasn't moved really at all. But you know what that means? It's just consolidating, getting ready for a big move. That's how I look at it. And I'm gonna catch that shit. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but wherever that shit going, I'm gonna catch that shit. No cap. Just need one good trade. That's all it is. Managing, you just got to be able to manage risk on all your trades, and then one or two trades will make it all back. Power of consistency and discipline. All right, I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes. Sure, I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes. All right, let me send this link out. All right, I'm gonna start that. He'll be able to join. He'll be cool. All right, bet. You see everything? Everything's all good on my side. Bet. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is first thing I'm noticing is I'm just paying attention to everything happening after this 12 a.m. open. I'm paying attention to these equal highs right here, and I see that these highs were created 2:15, 2:45, 3 a.m. So these are London highs right here. So this could possibly be the high of the day if price does want to continue in London's trend. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Doesn't mean it will be the high of the day, but we just gotta keep that in mind so we can firm out a setup. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark up the 12 a.m. open. And another reason why this could also be the high of the day is because we see that price traded above the 12 a.m. area at 2 in the morning, and then we had this equal high, and then from there price had this expansion to the downside. So there is a good high enough chance that that could possibly be the high of the day. And if that is the high of the day, we're more than likely going to be looking to continue the trend to the downside. So let me see, make that just like this. Now marking up the Asian session. Gotta mark up the 50% of it. Price right here at 4 a.m. traded, rejected this, traded back higher, came lower. So as of right now, if we are anticipating price to continue with London's trend, we're gonna pull our fib from that London high. So the high from up here. And then I'm gonna pull it to this low right here that was created during New York session. So right now we could possibly anticipate price to either retrace to this 38.20%, and that will also be in confluence with this 50% of the Asian range. So that could be a possible move that price continues lower, or we could trade a little bit higher to this 36,200 level, which is going to be our big figure level. Hold on, wait from the joint. You can hear me on Martin? It's like connecting audio. Alright, you should be good now. It's connecting still. You go, Martin? You can hear me? What's going on? What's going on? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So far, we haven't really done much. All I've done is show the Asian range. I marked the 12 a.m. open, and I did notice that during the London session, we did trade above the 12 a.m., clearing the Asian session highs, and we did make the high, the current high of the day. So there is a chance that we could be looking to have a continuation to the downside. And part of the reason why I believe that is because if you come over to the daily chart, this is the markup. If you watch the markup video, I was anticipating price to start trading slowly to 36,000, and as you can see, we're slowly making our way there. We have 3 consecutive down close days, so the likelihood of today being a down close day is going to be far more likely than being a bullish day. So 36,000 is going to be ideally an area where I would like to target today. So right now, I'm basically just framing out a possible setup that we could have. So 36,000 is all the way down here. This is ideally where we're going to be looking to target when we get into any shorts. 36,000. Then another thing I noticed was we have 36,200 right here in confluence, which is 38.20%. And if we also look right here, this last down candle before this up move here, this was previously a 15-minute bullish order block, but then price broke through it, trading lower, breaking the lows, so this now becomes a breaker block here. So I'm gonna make it this color. This is gonna be our breaker block. So we know that we have this 50% of the Asian session, we have this 36,200 level, and then we have this breaker block also, all in confluence in this area right here. So we know that there's a lot of reason for us to possibly believe why there's going to be just a move from here. It doesn't mean it's going to be a big move, but we know there's more than likely going to be a reaction in this area right here. Why? Because there's a lot of confluence. So one thing I do want to keep in mind too is we are making the low of the day during the New York session also. So there is a chance that we could end up having a reversal, but if we just keep in mind the overall trend on the higher time frames, we're just going to keep that bearish trend in mind. So right now, we're just simply going to be waiting for a pullback to one of these areas. And we're going to be looking to take a short on that. Pretty simple so far. No need to complicate it. It's only Monday. So we're only going to be looking to take a 1 trade, maybe 2 if the first trade doesn't work out. But ideally, the less trades, the better. So that's really it right now. I'm also going to take a look at other pairs such as NASDAQ 100 and S&P 500. Because if I can get an idea of where these are likely to move to, I can get an idea on what US30 is trying to do also. So here I moved on to NASDAQ 100. You can see that NASDAQ 100 is it's just falling just like US30, but it's falling way more. It had a way bigger drop than US30, and that's telling me that sooner or later US30 is also going to have a big drop. So it's one thing I've noticed with trading these indexes is that NASDAQ 100 and S&P, they tend to have their moves before US30. So say news comes out or something, or just anything, and NAS drops, US30 tends to follow a little bit delayed. So US30 might still be consolidating somewhere up top before it has that same drop. So that's something I kind of notice with just trading these pairs and looking at them both. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up this 12 a.m. open. As you can see up here on NAS, this looks like it more than likely is going to be the high of the day. That was created at 2:30, cleared the Asian session high, and also trade above the 12 a.m. open, giving a good reason why we would possibly expect price to continue lower. So right here on NAS, we're just going to watch this because on NAS, the previous day's low has already been broken through. previous day's high is significantly farther away. So if you pull your fib from that high that was created during London session to the low that New York session is creating as of right now, we can get an idea where price is likely to possibly retrace to. So we have this 36.79 to 62% retracement. Let's go on a higher time frames and try to see if there's anything within there that price could likely retrace to. Doesn't look like anything clean, honestly. So we're just going to leave this as this for the NAS100, and we're going to let it retrace. And it looks like it's a similar thing on S&P, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave the NAS100. So right now on US30, you can see we're starting to have this retracement. But I'm going to be waiting until at least 9 o'clock, so about 20 more minutes for price to just show willingness to reject or something, because I know I could possibly miss this trade by waiting, but I like to get in at certain times so I don't get caught in any consolidation. So as of right now, price is about to come up to 36,200. We could get a possible rejection. We could start to consolidate, but I'm going to personally wait to enter any trades, so just so we don't force it. Because at the end of the day, we want to be trading with volatility. And if there's no volatility in the market right now, we could get chopped up, we can get wicked out. And even though we might have a good directional bias on where we're expecting price to go, we can still end up losing a trade just because we didn't get in at the right time. Because timing is key. We might know how to trade, we might know what patterns look like, we might be disciplined enough to trade our strategy, but if we're not trading at the specific times where there's volume and momentum in the market, we could easily get chopped up. You just need one good trade. That's really all it is. One good trade. One good trade could be a 1 to 4, could be a 1 to 2, anything. I use Notion. Yeah, I like Notion. I like using that website. Great website. It's called Notion. Here, I'll type NOTOI. Just like this, Notion. Notion.com. You can use it for a whole bunch of things. Not even just journals. But here, as a matter of fact, since we're just waiting, I'll show you guys real quick. Let me share my other screen. Where is that? Alright, can you guys see my journal? So you can do things such as this. Like, here's my weekly journal. This is my journal that I have my trades. So I have a whole bunch of trades though. Hold on, let it load. I haven't used it. Let me refresh. But I have all my trades from Q1 all the way in 2021 to now I have Q2. And just like this, I have the pair that I use, the setup, all that stuff. And then you can also have your daily ranges in here. You can have all screenshots. You can have your grading your trades. So I have this thing that I do where I have phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I can basically just look at what's happening. I can look at my setup that I'm looking to take a trade on. Then I could look here and I can grade it, whether I think what's the risk reward. What's the previous day's trend? Where's the 12 a.m. open? Is there any big figure levels? The Asian range and the low and the high of the day. This is basically everything that I need to take a trade, because these are the characteristics of either a London continuation or a New York reversal. So I have to basically grade whether, because at the end of the day, these setups, they come in different forms. Like they have a lot of different ways that they can show themselves. Some are going to be higher probability than others. So one thing I'm trying to do is study more of the high probability trades and study what happens during these high probability trades, and like basically, because on the high probability trades, majority of the time, say we have a big drop, the previous day is more than likely going to be a bearish day. And ideally, on the 12 a.m. open, if we're able to get a trade above the 12 a.m. open, say for example, like up here, if we were able to sell above this 12 a.m. open during this London session, we would have been able to catch a really good trade. But in just examples like that. And then you can also have your goals, your weekly trades. You can just do a lot with this website. It's not just a journal. You can be real creative with it, have notes, everything. It just makes it so you can have everything in one place, and it's also free. So it's just real beneficial. Because once you start really journaling, that's when you really start really developing, because now you're starting to realize things that you never seen before. Hold on, one thing I forgot to do, let me mark up the previous day's low and the previous day's high. And as you can see, this previous day's low is right below this Asian session range. So once we clear that Asian session range, more than likely I'm gonna want to see price continue going lower. If not, then at that point I will be anticipating a possible reversal scenario, but only time will tell. Right now we're just being patient. We know what we're looking to see, and now we just got to be disciplined enough to follow the system, follow our rules, and just sit on our hands if we don't get our setup. So two things that could possibly happen: price could either retrace to this 36,200 level, then trade down to 36,000. This could be one possible setup that we look to take today, and this will be a London continuation bearish. That's what this move would be. But now let's see, let me go do a higher time frame. We also have this order block within this area here. Now that I see it, this 30-minute order block. And here, Martin, matter of fact, I'm gonna do the thing that you said I should possibly do. Let me do this, make it a little bit thicker. So, is that thick enough? There we go. We'll see how I might get a little bit better at using this, but for now, we got this 30-minute order block right here. So we could also anticipate price to travel into this area to possibly have that rejection. If anything, we could scratch this breaker block and just look at the order block, just like that. So we could possibly anticipate price to have this push higher to the 12 AM area to 70.50%, and also at this looks like it's at 36,250. So that's a mid-figure level. It's not a big figure level, but it's a mid-figure level. So I'm going to put another line here at 36,250. I'm going to make it black instead, just so you can see the difference in the two color lines. Just like that. So 36,250 is our mid figure, and 36,200 is our big figure. So either one could reject, but pay attention how both of them are in confluence areas. This 36,250 is in confluence with the 30-minute order block. It's in confluence with the fib short for this from the London high to the New York low. Then we have 36,200, which is in confluence with the 38.20%, and it's in confluence with the 50% of the Asian session. So both of them have their own confluences. Both of them have their own reasoning on why we would possibly expect price to do what it's going to do from these areas. But that's really it as of right now. It doesn't really look like there's anything else. We have this breaker block here too that I had marked up from before. But this is really the only stuff in this area for me to potentially look to frame a possible trade. Now say price is going to be bullish and it shows a willingness to going higher. Simply all we would have to do is when price goes higher, we could pull our fib from this low to wherever it goes, and we could look to catch a continuation on the top side. But in my opinion, I would rather see these lows cleared before we have a possible reversal scenario. So if we trade up to this area, our area where we're looking to sell before we clear this previous day's low, not the previous day's high, then I know that the chance of having a London continuation is going to be far more likely than being a New York reversal. But then say if we come and clear these lows before trading higher, I know that there's a good chance that we could possibly have a possible reversal scenario on today's trend. But more than likely, I'm going to stick with my bearish trend, and we're just going to see what happens. Right now, we're just being patient, and we're waiting to see what we could possibly take advantage of. Let's have a good week. Let's have a good week. So, Martin, on the challenge, how much did you say you were down? 3.93. All right. Yeah, you see one good trade. Might not make it all back in one trade, but like I said, if you could get to break even, then that's really all that matters. It's still early. You still got more than enough time for the challenge. about how you finish, bro. You can make it on the last day. Scott. Or at least make it half back. And you never know. It's all about taking. That's why it's high probability trades over everything. If you're taking high probability trades, you're always going to give yourself. You're always going to have an option of making back losses. Now that's another thing that people never even really get into is being drawdown recovery and loss recovery. A lot of people don't really stress that because the thing what a lot of people feel is when they're trying to make losses back, and that's when they end up getting in that, oh, they get in that cycle of starting to fuck up now because they're in that recovery mood. But there's ways to go about it. You just got to be confident in what you could do. You have to have a system. You have to know what you can and can't do. It's really just being patient at the end of the day and knowing, basically, you just know, what's that word? You know what you're capable of. You know what you're capable of. Anymore. Anymore. Yeah, that's everyone though. That's everyone. We all came from somewhere. We all came from somewhere. We're still going somewhere. Hopefully it doesn't. Honestly, I don't want to see it come too high because I already know with these highs up here, once it gets start trading past these highs, I know there's gonna be a good chance that prices doesn't come lower because it could possibly wick it and then come lower. But in my opinion, we also have this order block up here. Let me see if this one on hour time frame. I'll use the hour one. We got this hour order block up here. That if price does want to target, if it keeps going higher, it should target this area up here. Let me see. Just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make like templates for this for sure. So I gotta keep on typing it. I'll do that later. We have that 1 hour order block up there. So we're just being patient right now. Anything can happen. But one thing, if we do, we pull our fib from this high to this low. We see that price already traded into that fib short, having that retracement lower. So more than likely, that's why I'm anticipating this to be the high of the day. I don't want to see this order block up here get traded into more than likely, so I'm going to just keep it over like this. But I will keep in mind that it is there. But like I said, more than likely, I just want to see price continue to stick with the downtrend. Clear structure, high of the day during London session. Had this big move downwards, and I'm just looking to catch that retracement to continue with the trend. Simple, and that's really all it is. Oh man, it'll be a slow day. I could tell. Slow Monday. Slow Monday. Yeah, but I'd rather kind of consolidate now, so at least I know that once we get to that 9 o'clock, 9:30, I know there's still a chance that I can still catch a trade. Because I know if price was to just push higher right now and start rejecting, I know there'll be a good chance it'll fall. But if it's not in my time, I ain't taking it. Just being disciplined about it. But matter of fact, let me also check if there's any news today. Because you never know. Sometimes this news it could fuck you up just from not knowing. Okay, there's no news. Nothing at all. Zero. Not even. Yeah, absolutely none. Alright, so we're good on news-wise. So right now, we're just going straight off. We just got to wait for the New York Open for the majority of the momentum. we'll see. We know what we want to see. It's just being disciplined, and we just gotta wait right now. You guys got any questions about anything on the chart though, or anything? Questions about anything? Why I think a certain thing? Why I have a certain? Say it again. All right, but just making sure. There we go. But yeah, at the end of the day, Martin, Miguel, trading really isn't hard. It's really fine. The hardest part is really learning yourself, I would say. Learning what you can do, what you can't do, learning what you're good at. And you really learn how disciplined and how undisciplined you are when you really start trading. Because at the end of the day, we could really teach anybody how to read charts. It's as simple as if like, think of it like this. If I find someone that's never traded before and I strictly tell them everything that I know, they will be able to read the charts. But they won't always make money. Why is that? Because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it behind the scenes, behind the charts. Because at the end of the day, like, you see me marking on my charts right now, but you don't know what I'm thinking. You don't know how I'm feeling. You don't know what this trade is doing to me mentally. You don't know if I'm going through something in real life. All those things play a part in the charts, because at the end of the day, like, it's weird. Like, you're almost like, look, it's like a reflection of yourself. Like, you become successful when you really find what you're good at and you realize what you can and can't do, and you really just improve on those specific weaknesses and strength. That's when you really start to improve, because at the end of the day, I give this example to a lot of people. If you were to just show a chart to like a 5-year-old, you have a kid. How old is your kid, right? He's 3. I guarantee you, maybe not now, he is a little young, but maybe like 2 years or 3 years, if you were to show him the chart and ask him where does it look like it's going, he's simply just gonna be like up or down. It's just simple as that. Like, if you were to just go like this, where's it look like it's going? Down. And then if you look at the daily time frame, everything's bearish. So more than likely, we know that there's possibly going to be a bearish day. It's as simple as that. It really doesn't get complicated. Like, understanding where it's going to go is not hard. It's more or less the entries and exits, and then being able to manage the trade. That's when it really gets hard, because anybody can just enter a trade. Anybody can just enter wherever. But are you going to be getting in that spot where it makes sense, where you have good risk to reward, where the risk makes sense, where it makes sense for you to risk this here? Because anybody, I could just hop in now with 100 pip stop loss expecting it to drop, and I'll probably make some money. You know what I mean? Like, look, if I was to just hop in here, stop loss above here, anticipating it'll never go up there, like, anybody could really do that, and I could probably make money doing that. I probably could if I really, because if I know this is possibly going to be the high of the day and I just put my stop loss up there, I know more than likely I might not get stopped out. I might, but then again, now you got to think about the risk reward. It might take me all day just to get to 1-to-1. And then at that point, it's like, why am I taking trades? Because if I lose a trade, I'm back to break even. If I win a trade, I'm up 1%. If I win another trade, I'm up 2%. If I lose a trade, I'm up 1%. It's just, it's not consistent. You want to have consistent growth. That's what it comes down to. You want to have consistent growth, and the only way you can do that is by taking high probability trades with at least a minimum 1 to 2 risk reward. I try to go for 1 to 3, but you know how it is. You can't always get what you want. You just got to take what you got to take what the market can give you at the end of the day. That's why I don't like when people, I like how it's just zoomed in on his strap. It's just zoomed in on. Martin, I like how, like, you walked away, you know how your camera be zooming in? It just zoomed in on your gun, it just was looking at it for like 5 minutes. I don't know why, but that's just funny. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, it's like, you got to be able to have the risk reward. That's really what started to, when I start to see a change from being a break-even trader to having winning trades. Trust me when I say this, is when I really started to stress my risk reward, because there will be so many times where I would take profit at 1-to-1, before 1-to-1. And it's just like, it doesn't make sense, because every time you would be willing to take that full stop loss to catch that trade, but you aren't willing to wait for the trade to at least hit TP2 or TP3. It's all a mental thing at the end of the day, because the thing is, a lot of people come in, they want to make money. They see, oh, I'm up some money, let me take it, because they get scared, fear, greed. All those things play a part, and that's what I'm saying. There's so much that goes into it behind the scenes. That's why there's only so much. So I honestly don't even say I teach people how to trade. I teach people how I trade. Then there's a lot of stuff that you have to do individually. Like, I can give you the charts. I can give you what I do, the times, what's happening, what's understanding the price action, understanding the price delivery. But I'm not always gonna be right. You guys see that. Everyone takes losses, everyone takes W's, but it's about having the discipline and the mindset to know that it's discipline and consistency. And if I do the same thing and have a process of elimination, I have a process that I follow every day, and I'm disciplined enough to follow that process over time. And I'm like, say this: if you're only going for 1 to 3 trades and you lose some and you win some, but if you hold it set at full TP, you will be profitable over time if you at least have a 50% win rate. And majority of us have at least a 50% win rate. Even if you have at least a 40% win rate, I'm pretty sure you can make money if you only go for 1 to 3s, because you're always going to be making 3 times more than you risk. And that's when you have that long-term consistency and that continuous equity growth. There's going to be times where you lose, yes, but that's everybody. Nobody's perfect. And if anybody says they never lose, they're a fucking liar. They're fucking cap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I forgot. I was watching a video. It was a swing trader. Like nothing. And that's when it starts to get to you mentally, because if you know you're winning only 30% of the time, you're gonna be like, damn, I gotta get better. The whole time you can still be making money. It's all about, because say you have a 10% win rate, but if you go to if you go for 1 to 10s only, 1 loss, 1 W is gonna make back. You could literally take 10 losses in a row, which I hope people aren't taking 10 losses in a row, because that's a little different. But I say like 3, 4. If you're taking 3, 4 losses in a row, you can easily make it back. Because I remember I seen a video. It was a swing trader. He has like a 25% win rate, but he's like rich. He's rich though. He has money. He's been trading for years, 10 years plus, with like a 25 or 30% win rate, and he's still able to long term grow because he's a swing trader. So even though he might lose here and there, those ones that are winners, they are big. They're big winners. They long term. Things like, say, US 30, like people that invest long term in the US 30, bro, they're eating right now. Anybody that invests long term in the US 30, that's personally what I'm trying to do. Is there, like, over, like, if you look at the scan of weeks, it just goes up. It has its downs. It's like, think of this chart as like how your growth is going to be. There's going to be times where you have big drops, but then you can make it back. Small drops up, small drops up. This is how you got to be with your trading, and the only way you can do that is by having a system and just following the rules. Because at the end of the day, anybody can be profitable. It's just whether you're mentally gonna allow yourself to be. Because if we came to this chart as a robot, no emotions, no nothing, we would all be profitable. That's really what it comes down to. And that's why so many people nowadays they have just like robots trading, they have algorithms trading, because they realize that a lot of the flaws in trading with people and a lot of the reason people fail is because of human emotions. Humans are the reason why a lot of people fail, because if we came to this chart, no emotions, no nothing, we just followed our plan, followed and took our loss when we were supposed to, took our W's when we were supposed to, got out when we were supposed to, we would all be profitable long term. And that's really just what it is. So as us as traders, we got to develop to get to that point where our emotions don't affect us, where we know we have the confidence to take risky trades, where we have the confidence to get in when no one else is. We have the confidence to do what everyone else isn't, because we know from our experience what we want to see happen. Because at the end of the day, everyone's perspective on the market is different. We all look at it different ways, and that's really it. Right now, prices are kind of consolidating, not really doing much. NAS 100 slowly falling too. Hopefully prices doesn't continue dropping lower. Wouldn't be ideal. But say, I'm trying to see if I were to get in here, stop loss above. There's like 2 possible trades. Either I'm going to be looking to short at 36,200 or 36,250. I feel like I want to short at 36,200 because I have a good amount of confluence here, but at the same time, 36,250 would be a pretty good area to try to go short. I'm just not trying to take a trade, take an L, and then try to get back in. I'm just trying to take like one trade today, one and done. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. Not trying to overtrade. ever since New Year's, I've gone to the gym every day. My body's killed. And that's another thing. If you, I don't know what you be doing outside of trading and stuff, Miguel, but just being able to find discipline in other things also. So I don't know if you have any other not habits, any other like hobbies or anything, but like try to find consistency with all of that because it all leads into trading. Because if you can be disciplined in one thing, you can be disciplined in the next. Like that, it's like the same with me in the gym. I didn't start being consistent in the gym until I started trading, and that's just I'm being dead ass serious too. Like before, I would be not as consistent, but now when you start realizing how important discipline is, you start to realize how it is important in everything. I'm not gonna get big in the gym if I'm not consistent with it. I'm not gonna get good at trading if I'm not consistent with it. And I don't know, maybe you work out, maybe you do anything else, maybe you play guitar, the drums. I'm just anything. But if you're able to stay consistent in one thing, it leads to other things because you can't be disciplined in not you can't not be disciplined in trading and then expect to go to the gym and be disciplined there. It's just not how it works. You're either disciplined or you're not. You're not disciplined in specific things. It's just you overall. You're either a disciplined person or you're not. So that's why it's always good to be disciplined in everything, do outside stuff, try to find consistency in everything. You know what I mean? That's everything, bro. Discipline plus consistency over time is going to be success. As simple as that. Because as long as you don't give up, there's no way you could fail. Failure only happens when you give up. The only people that fail in trading are the ones that give up. Because how do they know they failed? They just stopped trying. They could have, you never know. Next year could have been their year, but they stopped trying, so now they never know. The people that are successful in trading are still trading. You notice that? You never hear about a trader that doesn't still trade, right? And that tells you something. Like you might hear like MLB players, football players that did play that were successful, but you never hear about people that were once millionaire, billionaire traders and just stopped. It just doesn't happen. They stuck with the consistency and they're still trading and they're still doing it to this day because they were consistent enough to continue over time, keep developing and keep developing. Because this is the one thing where 10 years from now, you're going to be 10 times better than you are now. 20 years from now, you're going to be 20 times better because you're only going to get more experience. The more experience you have, the more you're going to learn from these specific things. And if you're trading one pair for 10, 20 years, bro, you're going to have such an edge on the market that no one can tell you shit. And that's really what it comes down to. Because the thing with trading, why I love it so much, is you don't need nobody. I could sit in this room for 4 months straight. If I have food and water and a bathroom, I could make a living. I could do what I got to do. And I need nobody. I could do it all here. I don't got to leave the house. That's why I love it so much. Because the one thing I hate, nothing against jobs, I just hate doing what other people want me to do. It's not like I won't listen to them, but it's more or less like you want me to do it because it's going to benefit you or the company or this. It's not really benefiting me besides getting paid. I'm only here to make an hourly salary. You know what I mean? I'd rather work on myself on something like this, take that pay cut for a few years, make ends meet so that I could work on my dream so that later on, 10 years from now, I'm going to be focused on something that I like to do and something that I want to do. It's like the same thing with school. Everyone says they don't like to read. They don't like reading, but until they read a book that they like, right? It's just all about what you want to do because being forced to do something, say at school, read a book, a history book, you don't want to do that. But if I say you're interested in guitars and I say, oh, here's this book, I'll give it to you for free on how to become a fucking pro guitarist or something. You're like, okay, the chance of you giving that book a read over a history book is going to be far more likely because that's something you're interested in. And that's something that you would actually want to just get better in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, trust me, I did not use, like, trust me, school, it's not I was bad in school. I was a good student. I was, like, steady ABs, maybe a C here, C there. But it was, like, more or less, like, once I was in 10th grade, it was to a point where I just stopped really. I went to class, but I had my own books. Like I did nothing in their class. I had my own books. I was reading real estate books, mindset books, success. Like y'all know who Grant Cardone is. I was reading Grant Cardone's books. Like mind you, I'm in like history class. They're like, "What are you reading?" And I'm showing them the book. They're like, "What the fuck?" But it's like This is really what it comes down to. Like, I don't know, you guys might have seen the post, but in high school when I graduated, I won for most likely to have to own $1 billion company. So it just shows you that I was like on the same type of time I'm on now, but back then. But that's what it comes down to, is just consistency. I stuck to it. I wasn't even trading at the time. I was doing other stuff. I was failing stuff, but I still had the mindset to keep on going, focus on myself, focus on everything that I'm looking to improve. And then over time, you just get better at it, and just you start learning different things. So it's a big journey at the end of the day. Yeah, price is like slowly but surely moving. We're at 9:10 now, so we're in our time zone to be taking trades. So we'll see what happens. I got a new phone yesterday, so I take this content to another level. Yeah, I got the 13 Pro Max. Yeah, that's what I have here. Look, if you, I have, it's not a thing, but I have a tripod. Because if you notice that video I recorded yesterday with the it's just the beginning of the weekly review. I had it on a stand, but this also stand, because I can have it real small. I take it to the gym too now, so I can record at the gym. Because the thing with this camera, I have the room now, because on my old phone I didn't have a lot of space. So I have room now. I have a higher quality camera, so I'm just gonna take the content to another level, because I can record in 4K, 60 frames per second, and there's also the cinematic option. And I'm just gonna be taking another level, because another thing, we're gonna be working on the course a lot this year too, because I plan to release the courses. So I'm gonna make it like real in depth. I'm gonna be able to be on the whiteboard. I'm just trying to take it to another level. You know what I mean? Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. Mhm. Get consistent with it. Another thing you can be inconsistent in. That's what I used to do when I was posting like 3 videos a week. I would make them all during the weekend. I'll set them for Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time, and then they would just so that's why I had to stop. I was running out of ideas. I was making like 3 videos a week. Plus, that was before I was doing the live streams. So I was making 3 educational videos a week. Plus, I was doing the daily ranges, not the daily range. I was doing the weekly market breakdowns. So it was like 4 videos a week. There's only so much you can go over. You know what I mean? Without like kind of just giving up everything. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to get it here. That I'm gonna probably go maybe to 1 or 2 educational videos a week, but I'm just trying to get more stuff, because I don't want to keep putting out the same content. I could easily just keep recreating videos, but I want to give something new. You know what I mean? But I also want to keep it so I'm not giving up everything, so the course actually has value, because the course is gonna get real in depth. The YouTube is more or less like a brief explanation, because they can't really ask questions. They can't really ask, what about this example? What about this example? The course is gonna have examples. It's gonna have every daily range I've done for the past like 2 years. It's gonna have every weekly market breakdown. It's gonna have actually long videos, like 30, 40 minute videos of me going in. It's gonna have webinar videos. It's gonna have like, it's gonna be in depth. That's what it's gonna be. The YouTube is basic concepts, but the course is gonna be in depth. But I'm gonna give the course, everyone that's in the mentorship, I'm gonna just give all y'all the course for free though. Y'all not gonna have to pay for that shit. So, uh-huh. Yeah, like honestly, I honestly didn't even want to make the course money. Like, I really didn't, but I already know that people aren't they're not gonna appreciate it until they have to pay for it, and that's really what it comes down to. It's really just what it comes down to. Like, I don't. Like, I honestly wish I could just make the whole course, cause I'm gonna give it to a lot of people for free. I'm giving it to y'all for free. My friends are gonna get it for free. But to like the outside people that don't really know me, that are looking to trade, I know that, cause I have a lot of stuff on YouTube. Honestly, I have a lot of stuff on YouTube, but a lot of people aren't gonna take advantage of it because it's on YouTube. They're not gonna put the time into back testing, to practicing the concepts, until they have to pay for something. And that's really, sadly, what it is. But ain't nothing I can do about it. Just gotta make the best of it. Sunny trades. Mm-hmm. Shit, I'm not even there yet. I'm still improving just like everyone else. Always. Yeah, I know what you mean. The process. Yeah, like I remember. I think I'm not sure 100%, but I went from when I started really posting my stuff. I went from losing traders to break even, like while I was posting it, and I was stuck at break even for a while. Because getting from break even to consistently profitable is another thing. But even then, you can go from break even to consistent, but it doesn't even mean you're profitable at that point. Because the thing that I was stressing earlier, risk to reward, that's when I went from break even to starting seeing consistent growth. When I was growing, able to grow account 10% in a month, 8%, 6%. And I was like, damn, I couldn't do this before. I was negative all the time. I was break even for a long time. Then I realized it was really risk to reward. Risk to reward is really when I started to improve. And I'm going to tell you guys that again, risk to reward. That's why I stress it. 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. You never see me take profit at 1 to 1s. Never. And trust me, I used to do that a lot. I used to use 100 pip stop loss on US 30. Go for 1 to 1s. That shit was stressful. Let me tell you that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, it is, but then again, it's a wide stop loss, so the chance of me getting stopped out would be far less likely. But I could also cut trades short. It was like my own little system, but it didn't work obviously. So I wouldn't be doing this now. Yeah, it's good if you're like a really scalper and you're going for a lot of trades in a day. But for a day trader, for me, all I need is one trade, and that's really it. And I can't one trade a day. It's good. Going for 1 to 1s is good. Maybe if like I don't know, just personally, I can't do it no more. I can't, cause it's not long term. It's not good long term. You need to be able to have long term consistency. All right, right now price is starting to slowly reject. Let's see, I'm gonna pull my fib from this low. See what it's trying to do. Came down to the 62% and is rejecting. Let's see if we can get this push higher. Looks like we're probably not gonna take our trade until after the open. Looks like price is gonna more than likely be trading higher until then. But I'm not gonna look to take this buy into this area. It's not enough reward, risk reward. I'd rather take the short because the risk reward is gonna be far better. If I pull this over, it looks like it tapped maybe the high of it, almost the high. Probably go like the 15 and probably reject. I'll say the 5, but yeah, came close, almost. And that's the thing. A lot of people be saying this shit not random. I'm like, bro, ain't no way. Hold on, right here. Look how close shit be coming. ain't random my ass. But I like that it's not random, because imagine if the market really was random. Our trades would be so ass. We would be getting chopped up everywhere. Because how are we supposed to? If it's really random, there's no patterns. There's no way to make money, because you really never know what's gonna happen. But the only way people know what's gonna happen is because it has repeating patterns that happen over time. It's like an algorithm. Because you got to keep in mind, there's these banks, all these big money people, they have algorithms. And the thing with these algorithms is they're coded to do certain things. So when they're coded to do certain things, they do the same thing multiple times a month, multiple times a week, multiple times a day. And you can start to realize those things. And when you're able to realize those patterns, you can start to just anticipate what could likely happen next. Like, there's nothing against pattern trading, but I don't like how candlestick pattern trading, when you're looking for like wedges, when you're looking for like trend line breaks. Personally, I don't like any of those pattern tradings, but I'm saying patterns is just with price action. Price action leaves patterns, and you can see came down to here, and look where it's going. Not any lower. It's breaking the high already. And it's just something that you see over time. You get more confidence in being able to take advantage on situations like this. But look at that. And now it's flying. Simple shit. Just like as simple as just using a Fibonacci to enter a trade. If you always use a Fibonacci to enter a trade, you're never going to have a wide stop loss, because you're always entering at a discounted area or a premium area. That's why I love the Fibonacci. The Fibonacci is something I've used since I've started trading, and I've never got rid of it, because it shows a purpose. And I mind you, I was using this Fibonacci before I even understood the real meaning. Understanding the meaning of buying in a discounted area, selling in a premium, before any of that. And then over time, you just learn, and you start to develop new skills, a new understanding on how price action works and what price is trying to do. But yeah, we'll see. We got about 9 minutes to the open. Right now, I don't like where price is, so until we can get that push higher, we ain't taking no trades. And I'm fine with not taking a trade today. I ain't risking nothing then. That's how I look at it. Slowly but surely. I'm gonna get my MetaTrader open now, just so I can prepare myself, because you already know how fast this should be moving. I gotta be ready at all times. Alright, I'm gonna put my lines here. Horizontal lines on MetaTrader, so I can find out where these levels are on FTMO. 36,200 right there, and then we have 36,000. No, 36,250. I'm gonna have right here. Our price is falling now. Let's see what it does. Like I said, if we clear that previous day's low, I'm gonna look to see if there's any form of possible showing a willingness to have a reversal. But if we don't get that possible reversal, then at that point I'm just gonna call it a day and just be on with it. Yeah, we'll see what happens though. We will see. Price still has a good chance of moving higher, so we'll just let it do what it does. Because at the end of the day, it's just retracing. It's just coming a little bit lower into this order block, coming back into this fib. So there is a good chance we could still get a trade higher. He's buying that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if that it continues bearish, this should continue bearish too. If not now, hopefully after we get the trade. But if it does just continue to drop lower, Like I said, we use NAS as a kind of example. Same thing with S&P. They're both just falling, no trade opportunities. So if they gave no trade opportunities, what's the likelihood of you starting giving a trade opportunity? It's possible, but the likelihood isn't going to be as profitable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be like that, man. Don't like there's study like a lot of people that go to college now aren't even men. It's like majority female, all in college now. Yeah, man. Men are starting to really like they're starting to be more like, oh, I don't there ain't no point. Cause honestly, nothing against college, but if you're not going to college to become a doctor or a lawyer or something that really requires a degree, there's no point. There really isn't. And that's just how I view it. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that push higher. From where? Look where it came to. Right to that right to the high of that order block, right to 70.50%. Come on, I'm trying to get that push higher. Cause if we can get that push higher, I know that price is eventually gonna drop later on. Just being patient. First trade on the new phone. Let's see. Let's better be a W. No cap. Gotta pay these bills. Oh yeah, we're getting that push higher. We getting there 4 minutes until the open. See, this is why I wait to get. I at least try to get in trades. Part of me wants to start waiting to the open, but I know a lot of the times I'm gonna miss a lot of trades, so that's why I partly don't do that. Yeah, you miss a lot of trades. Trust. That's why I say 9 o'clock to 9:30 is like my limit, and I think for you, what 6:30? Yeah, right now we're rejecting. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, we should be good to push. We will see. We will see. Yeah, use S&P and NAS are showing a willingness to reject too, so it could have possibly just cleared these lows to possibly push higher too. Yeah, because there's US 30 and it's pushing now. Now it's whether we look to enter at 36,200 or 36,250. That's really what it comes down to now. Part of me wants to get in at 36,200. At the same time, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Oh, what you mean? The high of the order block? Order breaker block. If I enter at 36,200, I'm probably gonna have like a 50 pips stop. If I enter at 36,250, stop loss is gonna be about 50 pips too. I'm gonna have it above these highs, anticipating that this is gonna be the high of the day. Part of me really just wants to wait till that order block. If I can get in at this order block, I think that would be a pretty good entry, but only time will tell. I'm just trying to think what's the likelihood of price respecting 36,200 or not respecting and going to 36,250. All right, we got about a minute. Now we scout our setup. We're scouting right now, just waiting. Know what we want to see? Waited all morning. Now we just wait to see if we can get it. And if we don't, we ain't take no losses. We ain't take no W's. We saved capital for tomorrow. It's falling. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this open is. Like I said, that previous days that not, the previous day's low is where price is more than likely gonna target. So we'll see how it reacts there. All right. Let's see. It closed bearish on the 15-minute. That's why you gotta wait for closures. That candle was rejecting the whole time. Oh yeah, it's falling now. Hey, let's see. Might not get our trade then. The ideal trades, like I say, are always gonna be above and below the 12 a.m. open. Up here would have been the best entry as of right now. Alright, now we're dropping. NAS is pushing. So we're rejecting. If NAS keeps pushing, S&P's pushing, we could just be possibly having a possible reversal scenario. So I'm gonna stick on, say, the 1 minute for right now to see if I can get a possible buy scenario. Because if we start to engulf this candle, I'll simply wait for a possible retest to enter, anticipating that we just cleared the lows and we're gonna keep going higher. And now I'm just looking at the other pairs. That one's dropping too. I don't know. We honestly gotta wait. NAS is falling. Yeah, it's all falling now. We'll see. We will see. Now we just gotta see if we have a willingness to want to go higher. That's all we gotta wait for. And if we don't get that willingness to go higher, no trade. Yeah. Doesn't look like we're gonna get much today. But that's why you just gotta be, being disciplined enough to wait for our trade. Never got it. Well, now we ain't taking no loss. But up here, this is the high of the day. Like I said, this ends more than likely gonna be the high of the day now with this London high. This would have been the ideal trade, getting in above this 12 a.m. area at the London session high, making the high of the day. Yeah, it's rejecting, but NASA isn't. Neither is S&P, so I don't know how likely it is this is going to keep rejecting. We'll see, though. Just because one isn't doing it don't mean they both will. Part of me doesn't even want to buy, though, but we are below, so it would be ideal. Looking to catch a reversal. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, gonna have to see. Yeah, everything's pretty bearish, yeah. I'm not gonna get in for a buy there. Unless we would really have to show willingness to reject first. And it doesn't look like we're getting that. It's all bearish. 36,000. 36,000 is ideally where it's going to reach for. Because if you come to the daily, it's still the same markup I have. It's coming for here. I just wanted to be able to catch that trade to 36,000. But, oh, rejecting still. This area is going to be in significance for us. I'm going to watch it. Because if we can get a push, all we got to do is wait for a possible retest to continue back higher. But we got to wait for it to show willingness to do so, though. After clearing the lows and it clear the Asian session low also. It's not, we don't really got a price area. Is there any order blocks? I don't even think so. Uh, 4 hour. Nah, not really. Even now, it's kind of not even respecting it now anyway. Yeah, we off it. No trades. Simple as that. It's just bearish, real bearish. Like I said, when US 30 trends, that bit trend. Like anyone that got in for shorts at 12 a.m. Whew, not 12 a.m. London session, they eating right now. Yeah, more than likely, price is gonna target 36,000. I don't see why I wouldn't target at the previous day's low. Yeah. Hey, simple as it. No trades today. If we would have been able to catch that retracement, that would have been a good, because price overall was bearish. Like you can see, it didn't even tap into 38.20% level, so we missed a lot of opportunity. But hey, we're disciplined, followed the rules, so it was a good trading day in my opinion. That's what it comes down to, being disciplined. We followed the rules. Price is still going to be the overall target. We knew where price wanted to go. We just didn't take a trade. That's all. And it's only Monday. Keep that in mind. It's only Monday. So yeah, ain't really much. So I'm gonna just end it off here. Just hop off the charts, because I know if price starts to go higher and reject this previous day's low, I'm gonna want to hop in. So I'm gonna just keep myself from doing that shit. I already know me. So yes sir. So you know what I'm gonna do? Now I'm gonna do this. Delete everything off it. Now I don't know what's happening. Yeah, just delete it all, cause now you're gonna have to mark it all up if you really want to understand what's going on again. Or you can just press this, but you know. Nah, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no bear flag. I don't want to hear no bear flag. But alright. Yeah, that's just US 30 overall. 10th. Look, Miguel, like I said, anybody could have told us this shit looked like it was gonna fall. Anybody could have told it, but it's just the fact getting the entry is where it gets complicated. But no trades, no risk. That's a good day. We saved capital to trade another day. We're still in the game. That's how I think of it. But now that's really all. I'm gonna talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Make sure y'all stay productive and y'all have a good day and y'all be safe. All right, y'all be safe. I'll talk to y'all. But yeah, guys, ain't really no trade opportunities, sadly. We're just gonna call it a day. Let price do what it gotta do. This is what it's called being disciplined. Even though price could likely still go higher, I knew it was gonna target 36,000 based off of higher time frames. But that's really it. So if you enjoyed this, if you learned something, if you found this beneficial in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.